awesome technician. How many of you guys have watched his fights before? I mean, his jiu-jitsu is just off the hook, and his striking is really crisp as well, and he's got great fundamentals. So it's really exciting that he's here tonight. Would you please welcome with me our guest instructor, Jeff Curran.
I was so inspired by Dion back when I first started jiu-jitsu. I met Megaton at a seminar. I met him, and he would come all the way up and teach me and a couple of my friends at a local Hapkido school that let us use their mats at like 10 o'clock at night. So like, I just always wanted, when I was a young kid, I just always wanted to be like Dion and the guys that he was rolling with back then. And, you know, I really stayed the course, and every explosion starts with a spark. I learned that from one of my mentors as well. And, you know, those kind of moments were the sparks in my career that made my interest. Okay, that's how important it is. When you find something you love to do, you grab onto it and you keep moving. So what we're gonna do today, I'm just gonna try to kind of give like a buffet style of different drills and things that we do. Most of it's probably gonna be similar. I'm not gonna try to nitpick everybody and what you're doing. You're training here all the time. Everything's going to be good there. We'll just make adjustments as we go. Feel free at any time to open up for questions. I actually just had my last fight was my 51st pro fight, and I had over 30 amateur fights. So I've been in a lot of fights, needless to say, and my style of jiu-jitsu was so dominant for so many years. I remember the first time my manager called me and said, well, you know, I think I'm going to be able to get you this fight in Japan. You know, you're in the top 10. Like, we even have rankings? I said, yeah, you're in the world rankings. You're number 9. I was like, wow. I had no idea. So I was like, well, where do I find that? He said, you go to this website, SureDocs. Okay. I don't have a computer. I don't know what internet is. All those things. I had to learn that. So I found out I was in the world rankings, and I thought, oh, this is great. I'm going to try to climb the rankings, and it gave me something to work for. And I spent 5 years in the top 5, and then I was 4, then 3, then 2, and then I fought Uriah Faber, and you know that was my only career loss by submission ever was to Uriah, and really just a mistake. Probably a mistake I will guarantee was never going to happen again. And I made sure that I went and figured out every possible solution to defend moves like that. But anyways, those kind of losses made me better. Those kind of losses gave me that drive to continue on. But I also realized that my old school style of jiu-jitsu was what was once so dominant, maybe not dominant in the judge's eyes, but still gives me that foundation to go in and out of fights without taking a beating. And Jeremy Horn, you guys know who he is? He shares the same blessing and the same curse as myself. You don't beat us. You don't get in our guard and beat on us until we're bloody. But you know, we might not be the showstopper all the time to winning by submissions. But anyway, so that's my style. I'm still 35 years old. I'm still actively fighting. I'm still working my career back to either the UFC or Bellator. Sometime this year. I have a lot of good things going there, but the biggest thing is I have to relearn and readjust certain things that I do to make sure that I fit into the fight game of today. Even though I've been doing it for the past 15 years, I have to keep making adjustments, I have to keep improving, and I have to be on the forefront of that because my pro team and my amateur team, they look to me to say, hey, how do we do this? What should we do? How do we approach this? My instructors look to me and say, hey, how do we train these guys to do this and do that? So those kind of things keep me sharp, and me being involved in the fight game still actively as a competitor gives me that closer look, I guess you could say. All right? So anyways, we can talk all day. That's what I do. We'll get down and do some training. Let's get warmed up, and then we'll start with shin pads and small glove, and we'll do some timing drills, okay? Let's jog.